In this video, we are going to be covering how you can overcome the biggest hurdles when buying a property here in Portugal. So the first thing that you're probably going to start doing is sourcing properties. Now you might go to sites like Idealista or other big portals that Portugal has, or potentially some smaller real estate agency websites to find your properties. Now, something that is very important is that you do have access to the large majority of properties in Portugal. So this means you doing your own independent due diligence, which takes a long time if you're doing it for the first time, or you use an expert that can filter through everything a lot quicker. So you need to find an expert that you do trust to source through all of these properties, so you are finding a large majority of them, so you're not going to miss out on the perfect property. Because let's say you only look through 20% of the properties in the Portuguese property market, there's a good chance you might miss out on the best property for you, and that could mean losing a large investment that you could have made in terms of opportunity cost, or you're not going to have as successful of a transition to Portugal. So the next thing that you need to fully understand is what area and region you would like to live in Portugal or make a property investment in. There are three main regions in Portugal, which are the Algarve, Lisbon, and Porto, but there are so many other interior regions within Portugal. There is also the popular Silver Coast, which runs between Lisbon and Porto as well, which offers some fantastic properties and lifestyles for international expats as well. So you need to understand which one of these is going to suit you better, because there are many different options at many different price points and different budgets. So look into this, speak to the right experts that have unbiased advice, because if you are going to speak to a real estate agent that only operates in Lisbon and you ask them if the Algarve is going to be a great place to live, they're probably going to say that Lisbon is the bee's knees and it's the best thing ever and you should always live here, because they're going to want to sell you a property here. So you do need to speak to experts that have completely unbiased advice, are going to be genuine about what is going to be best for your lifestyle. So make sure to either visit different areas and understand what is going to suit you best, but you also need to factor in whether you have a family or kids that are going to be in education, they need an international school, for example. You need to factor all of these into your equation of making a decision. So after you'll be viewing all of these photos on Idealista or other agent websites, you're going to see that some of these properties look absolutely amazing and they fit your criteria perfectly. But then when it comes to actually viewing them in person, the reality does not match the quality of the photos. There's mold up in the corner, something's deteriorating over here, the foundation looks horrible, the pool is murky or leaking, or there's something going on that didn't show on the photos. Now, this is a big problem and happens all the time. So something that we do for all of our clients and that you should ask the agent that you're working with is to conduct a virtual tour with you via a FaceTime recording or a video recording, taking you around the property, all the aspects, every corner, pointing out all the defects with it, so you don't waste your time, your valuable time, coming to Portugal, viewing properties for many, many days and finding out that 80% of them, there's a massive problem with the property that would just be a complete turn off for you immediately, and all you had to do was see a single photo of that or a recording. So make sure you ask the agent that you're working with to do a virtual tour before you come out and view the properties in person. Something that we deal with every single client is organizing and setting up viewings across different locations within the same region, different regions, across multiple days, dealing with many, many different agents who have that property under their listing there. All of that administration work is complicated. Agents are then changing time, saying they have to cancel here, can you adjust here? It is an absolute mess, and it's going to give you a headache dealing with this. So make sure the agent or buyer's agent that you're working with is going to set that up for you, or understand that it's going to be a complicated process, you setting this all up on your own, and you're going to have to give an extra few days in that case if you don't have the expertise to be able to do that. So make sure that you do, organize this in advance and be aware that it can get very complicated dealing with many different agents. Now, many expats don't do this, and it costs them tens or hundreds of thousands. Now, this is not negotiating enough on the property that you're looking to purchase. Now, there is normally quite a lot of negotiation room baked in on the property. Now, we save our clients much more than the average in terms of what a normal agent would save on a property negotiation, because we align our incentives completely with the buyer. Now, most real estate agents in Portugal are representing both the seller and the buyer in the transaction, and their incentives are entirely aligned with the sellers, making sure they get the highest price possible because they're paid entirely on commission. So that means that the more money that they get for the property, the more money they get paid. And that is a big conflict of interest, and it's going to cost you so much money. So make sure that you're working with an agent that has their incentives aligned with you, can hide your excitement away from the seller's agent so they can push down that price more and more and more, saving you tens or hundreds of thousands. So make sure you're going to be a tough negotiator so you do not overpay for that property. So after the negotiation process, you now need to get an expert Portuguese lawyer that is going to do all the document due diligence on the property. Now, this is absolutely fundamental because there are a lot of legal complexities when it comes to purchasing property here in Portugal. It is a bit mind-blowing. So them looking through all those documents, absolutely necessary, and something I definitely recommend and advise is that you do get an expert that speaks English as well as Portuguese so they can translate all the document. It's very easy for you to ask questions, hop on a Zoom call or Google Meet so you can easily discuss with them, understand the risks, make sure they do the proper risk analysis as well so you know what you're getting yourself into. It's very, very important, and we make sure to set all of our clients up with the best English-speaking property lawyers here in Portugal. Another very big tip is making sure that the lawyer that you're working with takes power of attorney on your behalf. This allows them to sign property documents, the CPCV, the deed, and much, much more on your behalf during the property purchase, which means you don't have to make multiple trips here to Portugal just to sign one document, and it can be done just by the lawyer going to the office and signing it on your behalf, which saves you a lot of time and countless hours and days of travel potentially. If you are looking for these hurdles to be solved, then we are an exclusive buyers agency called Portugal Buyers here in Portugal. We help you with everything from A to Z, which means setting you up with your mortgage, visas, virtual tours, in-person tours, getting you set up with the expert property lawyers here in Portugal, through to the very end of picking up your keys for you, moving you into the house, setting you up with the utilities, property insurance, and everything else you can imagine throughout the entire process so you can relax and be stress-free the entire time, making sure it's a successful move or investment here in Portugal. If you are interested in that, you can click the first link in the description below or go to our website, portugalbuyers.com, to book in a free consultation with us. I look forward to seeing you there, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.